Rosé All Day. Perfect for the holiday season. Find out what I mean coming up next. Fragrance family, welcome to another episode of Pop the Cherry. This is where I pop the cork out of fragrance and give you my first test on skin. A proper first impression video, yeah. I've worn this fragrance as my scent of the day today, and I'm going to inform you how it went. Good, bad, and the ugly. You know me, I don't hold any punches. Today, as the title suggests, and you already know, I'm trying out Rosé All Day by the brand of Gallagher Fragrances. Now, let's take a look under the hood of this bad boy. Release date, not too long ago, 2018. The nose behind this is Daniel Gallagher. How I got this, thank you Daniel. It got gifted to me, and I'm happy this was gifted to me. This is a good scent. Major notes in this particular fragrance, always the sticker up front helps me out, but the major notes here, apple crisp, plum, and the honey. So very, very holiday-ish, festive type of scent. As this is my scent of the day, I got the dry down right here, but I need to remind myself of that introduction. So let's try it out. One spray on the back of my hand and one for you fine folks that are watching me back at home. So the first thing that comes to mind is this is a gourmand fragrance, first and foremost, festive, delicious, or just things that I'm thinking on top of my head. Now let's get a little more into detail on what I smell up top. The opening of Rosé All Day, especially away from my hand, so that means, you know, I'm giving it some space. It just really reminds me of Narguilé, Wajan. That apple pie vibe is there, straight through. Once I get away from it a little bit more, it kind of reminds me of the first note on this bottle, apple crisp. It's sweet, it's gourmand. It reminds me of the color. If I'm thinking color right now, I'm thinking rusty orange. It just makes me think of fall, so it's perfect for this fall season. No spices listed in the note breakdown, unless you really count apple crisp, which of course has some in it. This scent has a real strong cinnamon presence to my nose. It really does make me think of cinnamon, brown sugar even. I can almost smell the oats on top of this apple crisp. Here, it really makes me think almost grounded, festive, gourmandish. Somewhere in between of all this goodness, there's a rose note in here. Is that in the, yeah, dark rose, it's in the note breakdown, which will continue to be a hard secondary note in Rosé All Day. And a little bit of that plum comes through too. Once you start dissecting this one, is that, you know, I felt like, oh, there's no plum, it's just apple pie-ish. But once you start wearing this a little bit more, you start getting the different nuances. So I'm getting that plum-like feel. Honey drizzling through this apple crisp. It really has that sweetness, but it has a honeyed sweetness to the fragrance. Overall, a very good gourmandish scent, a very gourmandish, gourmand heavy opening, obviously, with many aspects to keep me entertained. Like I'm telling you about this introduction and I'm kind of going in different directions, which is a really good thing. But overall, my thought process is this would go great with a rusty orange sweater. So more into the dry down of Rosé All Day. The rose itself starts blooming more into this dry down. It feels more of a jammy rose than anything because it does have some of that sweetness that comes through. It seems like the gourmand qualities continue to come through to help that jammy rose idea that I'm getting. The tonka bean itself gives me more of an almond-like touch, and that comes into play too. The apple crisp continues to push as more of a secondary note to actually the rose here. The honey turns up the volume as well, gives the scent a great sweet touch without being too playful as a scent or too childish, I would say. The dry down gets a little thicker, but never too dense as a scent. And that's one thing that a lot of these scents do have is density. This felt a little less dense. I felt some green patchouli here, some sandalwood aspects that always goes well with a rose note, and you'll see a lot of great fragrances that do have a good patchouli sandalwood combo that goes with rose. They work very well together. I know it has a last note here of stainless steel. I didn't get much of that, to be quite honest, so I'm looking forward to seeing if I can get a steel-like quality to this fragrance. I ain't getting it though. Now let's get into the Revolver, talking about seasons, day or night, versatility, projection, longevity. So let's start with seasons. This has fall written all over it. I have no issues with wearing this in the winter too, and probably the start of spring too, but you might get sick of it at that time. But mostly this has fall written all over it. Day or night, I feel like this is more of a nighttime scent than a daytime. But you could wear this daytime casually, especially in the cooler weather. Versatility, I'm gonna go mid-tier. Casual use during cooler weather, day or night, which kind of makes it a little more versatile than stronger fragrances than this. Projection and longevity. Longevity was pretty solid, 6 to 8 hours on my skin with heavy projection. Some actually call this a beast mode scent. I'll keep tabs on that. I didn't really feel like this was beast as advertised, I'd say, but it's very, very solid in regards to projection and longevity. So my overall thoughts on Rosé All Dae. Overall, I love the rose gourmand notes play here by Daniel. He took a familiar path, the Homme Narguilé path, which is highly copied, but he ran with his own spin to it. I really like how he changed it up a bit. I feel many aspects in this scent, especially the apple crisp, felt really unique, very interesting. I felt like apple crisp oats on top, the rose, the high use of tonka bean that makes this spin one that I actually really enjoyed. I like that it was a little different, well done, and I really can't wait to wear this one more into our fall and winter of 2019. And probably winter of 2022 going into there. So I'm gonna put this in the vault, of course, for a full-fledged review on the channel in the future. But first impression, a hell of a first impression, Rosé All Dae. Now that you know my thoughts, I wanna see your thoughts in the comments below. Please let me know what you guys think about this fragrance, good or bad and the ugly. I'd love to hear your take. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button. I certainly appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell while you're there. Are you part of my notification gang yet? If you already checked me out, I am on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. My handle is the same as my YouTube channel, Robes08. Also on Facebook, I do have a Facebook group called Fragrance Guru Nation. We're up to 16,600 members currently, which discuss fragrances. Are you part of the group yet? If not, join today. Now I'm gonna leave you with a few takes from my social media. I asked everybody on my social media what they thought about this fragrance, good or bad. I love to hear their take. I'm gonna put those in the back end of this video, so keep it tuned in. As always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube.